magic wand dance. Past, present and future friends are all in my hand. I can make them come alive with my magic wand. History, history, a simple tale are all in my bag. Any scoop you want to hear, a gossip or a gag. We are a wandering group, Babujis, and we whisk up our shows anywhere. Marketplaces, open fields, even in front of government offices. But friends, today we are performing in a really important place. Look at all these distinguished people, the cream of society, sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting for our show to begin. They deserve the best and nothing but the best. Babujis, we live in a holy land. Religion, I mean dharma, is deeply rooted in all our hearts and minds. All of you have read a bit of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, haven't you? All of us have heard about Ram and Sita. Yes, they happen to be the hero and the heroine of the Ramayana. But today we are not going to talk about them. We are going to talk about an ordinary man instead. No, in fact, a demon. Mareech is his name. Yes, Babujis, Ji haan! Our show today is about the story of this very Mareech. Mareech, the legend! But legends and myths are not everyone's cup of tea. So, I'm going to spice it up a little. With tales of our joys and sorrows, yours and mine. And also, a very special scoop. Some real foreign stuff. From America. From Yankee land. So, Babujis, dil thaan ke baithiye, because Mareech the legend is coming on the scene. Keep your ears open and keep your hearts clean. The greatest ever story that anyone can tell. Bhanumati ka khela, babu, jadu chadi ka khel. Start now.
Mareech! Mareech! Who dares call out my name in this fashion? Who dares interrupt my meditation? This is not time, Mareech, for meditation, but disaster knocks at the very doorstep of the demon king. Come with me right away. Prepare yourself for the journey. It's a command, and you must obey. Mareech is not a slave for anyone to command. Under no one's rule, receiving charity from no one's hand, doesn't need to bow for benediction. I live with my own vocation. Look up only to my personal deity, and no other creature, however high and mighty. There is another god, Mareech, that everyone must look up to. Ravan, the lord of Lanka, the lord and master of the demon race himself has remembered you, Mareech. I don't live within the limits of his territorial kingdom. Long ago I came away, forsaking the pleasures of the royal court, the bustle of the city, the rites and the revelry, the frothy fountain of life. I have left all that behind, opting for the self-exile. Then why does he remember me after so long? What need has he for this poor unfortunate? Ravan's sister Shugnaka, so well beloved by all, has been humiliated at the hands of some mere mortals. Suffered such shame, disfiguring her ears and nose, they have subjected her to such degradation. Those prison brats of human race. Who is the human who has thus charmed our Surpanaka's heart? Who's the daring mortal who could rip off such a beauty of our clan? My tongue is loath to utter the name. My body bristles in rage. But to quell your curiosity, I will tell. It's none else than that lowly Ram. Ram? Ramchandra? Not he alone, though. His insane younger brother, who goes by the name of Lakshman, has heaped insults upon her. Ramchandra! Mareech, are you so unmoved even now? The name of Lanka is today ground in the dust, and you keep silent? Weren't you born in this demon clan? Doesn't demon blood flow in your veins? True, I was born in this demon clan. But since the day I saw his glory in the hermitage garden, I have offered him my devotion. What is that you say? How the wind-borne missile shot from his bowstring made all the demon blood gush from my veins. Even today, the memory of Anant. I've no ear for such eloquent praise of that vile human on a demon tongue. Listen, Mareech. It's all settled. Ravan intends to abduct Sita, the beloved wife of Ram.
So, that's what he wants. To make them pay for Shurpanakha's sins. Who in the name of God asked her to offer a love so shamelessly?
Wonderful. Truly wonderful. You're so enamored of the human race that you find fault only with us. But keep this in mind, Mareech. You cannot ever disregard the command of Ravan.
If the Lord of Lanka is so enraged, then why does he not face them in open battle? No doubt of willing fighters amongst us demons. How can I be of any service?
No. Battle face to face would be the right thing now. Mere mortals, of course, they are. But superbly skilled in bows and arrows are those two brothers. Therefore, through this devious scheme has Ravan planned to attempt Ram's love.
No!
You're the master of miraculous powers. With your skills in creating illusions, you'll throw away the brothers Ravan. And in the meanwhile, no!
Do it. This tiny bit of a job you cannot do. Why may I know Ishwar? After all, these are your jobs. Starting a riot, setting fire to people's houses. Don't tell me that you don't know that. So all those things I've been hearing about you are true then.
What have you heard?
That you've become a virtual saint these days? And you follow that Raghunath around like a shadow? Big disciple you'll become, huh?
Raghunath treats everybody like a near and dear one. So if someone sees him on the road, one has to smile and say hello. If he comes to your house, you have to ask him to sit down.
And offer him tea and snacks.
I mean, if a guest comes...
Yes! My left foot! Always up to something or the other behind our backs, trying to screw us up, and you call him a guest! Listen, Raghunath is our enemy. Enemy number one. Get that into your head.
How come enemy? He hasn't never been here, but they have grown it with their sweat and blood. It is they who plow the fields. It is they who sow the seeds. It is they...
Bas! Don't go beyond that, Ishwar. Up to that point, they have rights. But when it comes to reaping the harvest of the land, the right is solely with the owner, and that is Pal Babu.
Meaning?
Arey Baba, you think this grain business is that simple? But these goddamn peasants, all they understand is their bellies. Why don't they understand that they are not the only ones with bellies? Crop is meant to feed the entire nation.
They are eye deep in debt. Let alone savings. They don't have enough for 2 square meals a day. Why don't you let them keep the crop they reap for once and see if they can manage or not?
Supposing they can, and Pal Babu will sit at home and suck his thumb and give away the holy pressure. Listen, stop going gaga over Raghunath. Long time no work, and now you're too afraid to move your lazy bones. Don't forget that we work for Pal Babu, and you must see to it that his interests are taken care of, just as I do. Now take the case of your father. The old zamindar would not budge a single step without him. Then again, if there was a house to be set on fire...
Leave that out of it!
Better leave such things alone. Those days are gone. But that doesn't mean that you and your life are not in demand anymore.
But this is injustice! A sin!
What? A sin? What do I hear today on the lips of Ishwar Latwala, the son of Bishan Sardar? Maybe you haven't been in action for some time. But does that change one's nature? What is part of the blood?
I am telling you clear and straight, my Moshai, I cannot do it. I really do not understand you people. All of you are so God-fearing, and yet...
Listen, Ishwar by himself is good for nothing. But if you can make good use of this Ishwar, a god, idol, dharma, religion, you can make good use of them, often reap rich dividends. Now look, affair there is just getting pretty right. The Musalmans are all sizzling inside. Little more, and pop, they burst. But that spoiled sport Raghunath goes and scuttles the entire thing. Only the riot could somehow start. Only a spark is needed in the present situation. And that's where you come in. Take those men from the Harijan village with you. Show us something grand this time. Something that will make us say, like father, like son.
What does Pal Babu gain from inciting this riot?
Oh. Okay, listen. The crop there, as you know, is almost ready for harvesting. Abhinav and his men are guarding it. But once this riot breaks out, Abhinav will run there with his platoon. While he's busy tackling the situation, at that moment,
You will loot his crop.
yes, we will loot his crop.
Then leave me out of it, Nehru Hall. It's all beyond me. Get somebody else to do this job.
And if somebody else could do it, why would I say all this to you, Ishwar? This job can be entrusted only to the old faithfuls.
No, I won't do it.
Why will you not do it?
I won't betray him.
Will you not betray him?
No.
Ishwar, you forget that you live off the land given by Pal Babu. And now that he's in such a bad debt, won't you come to his rescue? Won't you answer his call?
The land where we were born, the soil we grew upon, the earth, water, air of which land is a part of our very existence. There can be no doubt in the mind of any American in answering the call of his nation. The President is right. There is only one criteria by which the patriotism of every American citizen will be judged. Who is willing to die for his country and who is not. So my friend, don't you go around having any second thoughts on this.
Each one of us should be ready to lay down their life for the sake of the nation. I've got sense enough in my head to appreciate that, Mackie. But I may have an idea or two of my own as to what is good for the nation. And surely, American democracy grants each of its citizens freedom of thought.
The plain truth is that too many of us are just too chicken to go to war. A little wonder, with all those outlandish rumors of suicide bombers doing the rounds.
Mackie, maybe I'm scared too. Listen, I want to do away with this thing called war if I can. I want to avoid this very thing called war. But believe me, Mackie, I'm thinking not of myself alone, but of America as a whole.
It's too much emotion that grows all that fuzz in your head. Look at me. I take everything easy. Women as well as war. But I swear to God, Greg, when I see that tiny chit of a country throwing a challenge at our America, I feel like strangling each one of them.
No one's throwing a challenge at America, Mackie. It's America that's gone poking its nose around.
About these foreign policy matters?
But why war? Why do we have to carry on such a bloody war thousands of miles away? Why do thousands of Americans have to leave their homes and families for such a faraway land?
It's a war to protect democracy. And we have got to go on with this war to save the honor of America by wiping the outline of that country off the world map, if need be.
You are thinking only of America, Mackie. What about those brave millions fighting for the sake of freedom?
Do you think they understand freedom? Do they know how to enjoy freedom? A bunch of illiterate, semi-civilized people?
But why don't you let them go their own way, Mackie? Choose their own system of government?
No, we can't allow it. The high ideals of democracy, which our noble President Abraham Lincoln has placed before us, must be protected and propagated, not only in our own country, but throughout the length and breadth of this planet. That's our sacred duty.
It's a hell of a responsibility, Mackie, and a regular burden. The burden of love. But you know what? Everyone may not begin to carry this burden of love around.
I can't make anything of what you say, Gregory. Your father was a scholar, and a professor of no mean repute. The books he wrote in American democracy made people all over the world sit up and take notice. And then there are lectures on democracy from his world. Reading through them inspires...
I've read them, Mackie. Each and every single one of my dad's writings.
Then don't you owe him something? Don't you have a duty towards a nation? Towards America?
But what exactly this duty is something I can't figure out, Mackie.
Strange. But you do not need to worry about that. Our duty is guided by our president, by our foreign policy, by our glorious democratic tradition. You have an education. You write well. You'll make it as a journalist. You only gotta shake all that confused crap off your head. That's all.
Let me think it out, Mackie.
Go ahead. American democracy grants you the freedom of thought. Only don't push it so far that we both have been nominated, and we have to go to the battlefield as journalists. And if necessary, we have to pick up a rifle. And I'm prepared. Hope you'll keep yourself ready too. So long, friend.
Freedom of thought? American democracy? My dad's research work on democracy? I've read everything. What shall I do?
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You don't know what a drive you're in. Steady, have to launch it. There's you have to say. You don't know what drive you're in. Steady, have to launch it. There's
Fix your eyes on the mind, Mareech, and see if you can find that old Ravan the ten-headed, all care and concern, who picked you up into his lap when you were helpless on the wayside, who made your acquaintance and snatched you from the unrelenting clutches of Yam, the Lord of Death.
True. It is to you, O ruler of Lanka, that I owe my life. Even now, my heart flows out to your feet in gratitude.
Gratitude? If you had any sense of gratitude, you would have rushed to me, wasting not a moment. But Mareech, forget not that you are doubly indebted to me, your king, and to your mother's memory.
Lord of Lanka,
I have heard from Uncle Kalnemi that you sit in meditation, desiring the blessing of that God in human form, being born in the demon clan, to seek mercy from a mere mortal. But heed my words, Mareech. Any demon that breathes anywhere in the three firmaments looks up to Ravan as his lord and master,
past.
Mareech! Have you forgotten so soon how your mother had to die an untimely death at the hands of those two human pests? When can there be a more opportune moment to avenge her death and to pay back your debt?
My mother lost her life in battle. They were not responsible for the encounter. Her own fault it was that...
Stop! Some devoted son of a mother you are! So enchanted are you in the human race that you do not balk at judging even your own mother! Now I see how it is. How your coward is cowards in the shelter of your facile reason. Now for the last time I ask of you, if you have any sense of gratitude, if you have any concern for your race, your mother, then you will act at once on my approval. But else, your land will be seized, your hut confiscated, and most important, there's an old file in your name.
Hey! What is this you are talking about? You are Ravan, but I have forgotten all about that.
But you did not sound your duktuki and I...
So you went on with that fellow there. And what do you have to say about that?
Your land will be seized, your hut will be confiscated, and most importantly, there is an old summons in your name buried in the police files. That will have to be dug out.
What are you saying, Zamindar Babu?
The ride in which your father was killed, along with a few peasants. Remember? We spread the word that it was your father's handiwork, because it could not do him any harm. He was dead. But we can get you hanged, Ishwar, because some of the peasants were killed by your lathi too, and a few of the eyewitnesses are still around. It was I who saved you then, and if you don't stand by me now, besides, don't forget, these right happy peasants killed your father.
The ride was rigged up by my father himself. You tricked him into it. I remember. He wasn't well that day, but he was your loyal servant, and he went. I accompanied him. When the fatal rod struck him on his head, I went out of my mind. I swung my rod in a frenzy. Oh!
I know everything. Hit on the leg, you fell flat. Thank heavens Daroga Babu reached the spot in time. Or else, these peasants wouldn't have spared you either.
My father paid off his debts to you with his life. Please leave me alone, Zamindar Babu.
How can I? Aren't you living on the land that I gave you? The hut we had made for your father, haven't I been hatched for you? So you are indebted to me too.
I cannot do it, Zamindar Babu. I cannot. Not after what my father told me before dying.
What did he say?
Ishwar. 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 All my life, I have shed the blood of these poor peasants, burning countless huts. I have ruined the lives of so many innocent girls. But now, it seems to me, Ishwar, I have shed my own blood all this life. The girl whom I bound and burned before the world was my own daughter. The houses I burned, my own. Took it out of that Jamindar's hands. If you want to live, run, Ishwar, escape!
So, why are you quiet? Well, what did your father say? I know what he said. He said, you shouldn't think twice before giving your life for those who provide you with your livelihood. So it's all settled then. Don't worry about the money. I'm here to take care of the dad. Just get the job done. Here, keep this money for the time being.
Buying loyalty! So, where do you get all that money? You fill your coffers with the poor peasant's sweat and blood. What kind of purchase is that? You give me land, have me treated in a hospital, give me back my life, only in your own interest. And me? Crippled for life, walking with a limp? No more. Now I know who my own people are. I will go and join them. Hey! people say a lot of things, yeah. Right? Nobody else has heard what your father told you. So why don't you just say your own life, son? Right? Where was that money? Babu! Yes. Give this to him and make your exit again.
Yes, keep this for the time being. I could not. I was lying in the hospital for 2 months with both my legs broken. It is Babu Babu who looked after me, Babu. And being your son, I cannot take the hand that feeds me. I cannot commit this treachery, Babu.
Yeah, it's nothing but treachery.
Please forgive me,
If you
Babu.
think you can ignore our order and go ahead with your independent thinking, you have to suffer the consequences. Push down!
Oh, what the heck? What are you still doing here?
That's nothing to do. Start that game. I'm Williams, Senator John Williams. I've been sent to Gregory as a special envoy of the President. Of course, his father was a great pal of mine. But since I've been entrusted the responsibility and throughout the... Oh yeah, let's start. Yeah, Gregory, what had your father written in his diary?
All that I've done, all that I've thought throughout my life, all of it is wrong, lies, betrayal. That's what my dad has written very clearly in his diary.
As you know only too well, Gregory, I too have read your father's diary. Those words in his diary, they aren't worth all that fuss. They were written when your father was in an unwell state of mind.
What are you saying, Mr. Williams?
I'm afraid so, Gregory. After he returned from his international lecture tour, something went wrong with his head. He wanted to retire on grounds of illness, but then died of a sudden stroke. And who knows? Perhaps it's all for the best. For the kind of dangerous stuff that had been crowding his mind would have undone a lifetime's work. It would have all been in vain.
It has been all in vain, Mr. Williams.
No, we haven't let that happen. If that diary had somehow fallen into the hands of the enemy, even if some fragments of his later thinking had found their way into print, then nothing would have been done. Even today, he sits on a high pedestal in the people's hearts. All that would have been a thing of the past. Your father would have become a traitor.
Mr. Williams! Dad was the greatest scholar and spokesman of American democracy that ever was. But the very man who, from within the confines of American democracy, wrote this secretly in his diary, could never speak openly of it to anyone. In the process, he suffocated within the colored balloon bill by himself and...
Making a mistake. It is because your father was such a genuine patriot that... Look, in the Senate, we senators criticize our foreign policy. We raise hell on the Pentagon budget. The freedom of thought in a parliamentary democracy...
Oh, please stop, Mr. Williams!
There are hints in your father's diary that parliamentary democracy is a hoax. What's more, the professor had begun to think it was not possible for true democracy to develop in the system. And most damning of all, he wrote clearly in his diary that our foreign policy is nothing but a mask for imperialistic expansion. Imagine the kind of harm this could have done coming from an international scholar of his repute. Don't go poking to his secret identity as contained in that diary. You are young, with a bright future ahead of you. Do as I tell you. And otherwise, if you want to act according to your own judgment, you're intelligent. I'm sure you can understand.
I can, Mr. Williams. My dad's reputation, my comfortable lifestyle, everything will be at stake. I'll be...
As a special envoy of the President, I tell you, the tales of my powers and my conquests make the three firmaments tremble. If there be one who dares to defy my laws and my authorities, Ravan, the all-conquering human king, won't forgive him.
Sorry. Mistakes all around the way, Babuji. This was being that was right, and that was being this one. But frankly, Babuji, tell me, wasn't it great fun to hear him speak those words? Vaise, Babus, I think all of you have an idea as to what is going to happen next. But things don't always happen as you think they will, or even as you plan. So instead of hurting our heads worrying about what is going to happen to whom, oh, here they come. Let's get it straight from the horse's mouth then. So Mareech, in the end, you accepted defeat and did what Ravan asked you to do, right?
If I fail to heed the command of...
Oh, your show is over, son. Now you can talk in plain language so that people can understand.
If I hadn't listened to Ravan,
He would have knocked you out with one punch on the nose. Isn't that so? So it was fear that made you agree. But in the end, you had to die at the hands of Ram.
whether by Ram or by Ravan, I had to be killed. But I thought if I died at the hands of Ram, I would earn eternal salvation. In that hope...
It never occurred to you that it was because of you that Sita got kidnapped? Let it be. So in the end, Ram killed you with an arrow. Right? You agree?
Well, what else was there for me to do? All my options were blocked. I was so badly hedged in, trapped.
Babujis have all seen that. Just tell us what you did in the end.
Because of my dad's nationwide fame and reputation,
I get it. Do you get it, Babujis? This so-and-so committed suicide. He put a gun to his head and... You took your own life.
you coward! But I didn't bow down to them. My dad's last diary, which he had given me to burn, was safely hidden away by me. Before I killed myself, I saw to it that it reached the right place. You must have read it. Haven't you read it? American Democracy, the real story?
Relax, relax. Calm down. Nothing to get so excited about. But you could have stood up to them. You had to die.
It would have been different if you had died fighting. But instead, running away like a coward?
My son, you have been fidgeting for quite some time. You too... No. No? How do you mean no?
I didn't commit suicide, nor did I drown myself in the sea of devotional bliss.
Once again you are talking gibberish and creating trouble for me.
Abhinav saved me. The peasants saved me. I revealed everything to them. Pal Babu's game is up. Now
Shut up, you fool! You are a player in this too. You cannot just go on doing as you please. This is the Mareech play. And in this play, all three of you must die.
why should I die? I have found my own people. That is the reason I am still living. Today I stand lock in hand by the peasant side. I'll die fighting for the peasants if it comes to that.
Die fighting! How about that? After having been fed and clothed by me, now you want to guard that regular property!
I don't want the harvest of the land given by you. I have left the house you had given me.
We cannot allow an anti-social and murderer to walk free like this!
It is you people who made me an instigator of riots, a murderer. And now that I am about to start a new life...
You are a dangerous anti-social. For the sake of law and order, you are under arrest.
No!
Oh, you are allowed to say me. If Ishwar does not die, I cannot take this play, yaar.
I could not understand, seeing that helpless Ishwar being shot at. Now I feel, instead of taking my own life,
You could have stood your ground. Could have registered your protest. And it's not anything else. You could have waited a little more. Maggie? It's you. What happened to you? A reward for patriotism. A memento for carrying out the sacred duty of establishing democracy throughout the world. But your leg, your hand... I went to the war front. Got injured in a bomb attack. And then in the hospital, you... One of America's dead war heroes. A martyr. There are thousands more. Those who had to lay down their lives in war. And then there are even more who have lost their golden youth and have returned home maimed and crippled. We have blundered, Gregory. But it's you who has committed an even bigger blunder. Me? Your ideas. The power of your youth. The voice of your protest. In the final reckoning, you let all come to naught. We erred because we didn't know. But you knew, and yet...
but I didn't bow down to them against the call of my conscience. I thought my society would remember this. And by publishing my dad's diary, I hoped to unmask the true face of the democracy.
But do you know that as soon as the dad's diary was published, they let out that he was associated with some foreign secret agency.
What are you saying, Maggie?
Yes. They also spread the word that you were actively plotting against the country, and that once you were discovered, you tried to evade punishment and disgrace. But
Maggie!
that was the story which was handed out about your suicide in your father's diary. Framed with such masterly cunning that I'm sure that people saw it.
I couldn't imagine, Maggie, that they could stoop this low for this selfish me.
You should have imagined it, Gregory. Where democracy is but a tool in their hands for the protection of their own interests. what value does your life and mine be? It's to serve their interests that thousands of young men lay down their lives in war. But Maggie,
Why can't some people see through this even now?
they can. Many today have begun to realize that they can't have peace in this country by fanning conflict throughout the world. A movement has begun, and you should have stood your ground. You could have protested, if not anything else.
I could not take part in the farce of a trial in a democratic court of law. Convicted of the charge of being an anti-national, I'm in a blunder!
Oh, there is no return ticket from where you have chosen to go. Really, what is all this chaos happening today? The show should have been over a long time back. Look at all these dead people making trouble for me. Now, listen. Are you or are you not going to say your last lines? Orchestra!
We are the losers, this is our song. We were not able to stand our ground. We didn't know whom to call our own. That's why we lost, living all alone. We are the losers, this is our song. Oh, how we suffered, oh, how we suffered, but all in vain, but all in vain. We say so again, we are the losers.
No, no! This is unjust! Unfair!
What the hell? What the hell has gotten into you now?
If he has admitted his mistake, then you must give me a chance to admit my mistake too.
Good Lord! You must do exactly as Valmiki has written in the Ramayana. Otherwise, I won't be left in peace. These stories from the Purans are rooted in the people's minds. If I touch anything there, I will be beaten black and blue.
But if Valmiki has done an injustice to Mareech, shouldn't it be open to judgment? Shouldn't Valmiki offer an explanation?
What utter nonsense! Have you gone completely crazy? Arey, who can judge Valmiki? And where are we to find him so that we may listen to his explanation? Oh, no. This is not possible. No. What are you saying?
Why not you start? You are the magic part. But I think I do that. Besides, you really should give Mareech the chance he was asking for. Everybody start. Just play it with me. Please.
Magic bonding! Someone who can be! Guru of the
Louder! The old man is in the heart of it.
Abhinav Savior!
I mean, great grandpas. Who is he? Aren't you Mareech? What on earth are you doing among these three buffoons? It's because of this person that we have invoked your presence here. I don't understand a thing. Who are these people, by the way? How come Mareech is here? He can explain, Grandpa. Don't get so worried. The play. Play? Yes. The Mareech play. The Mareech play. In fact, the play was getting along very fine. But then some players started playing it wrong. And it gave Mareech to it. Mareech has a grievance. What grievance? Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die? Who the hell doesn't die? Men die, animals die, birds die, flies die. My lord, was there no other way for me to die? Why? Has somebody shown you some other way? Not only had I to die, I became responsible for the abduction of Sita. People cast all the blame on me. Well, those who blame me are stupid. Sita would have been kidnapped even if you had refused. You were just an instrument. Aren't you the least grateful that I freed you from a life of cannibalism? Gave you such a noble task to execute. But I could have been resisting the abduction rather than abetting it. If I was destined to die, couldn't I have died fighting, like say, Jatayu? I see. You would have been happy to have died a martyr's death like Jatayu. But son, that would have But I had left all the pomp and luxury of the demon capital to live a hermit's life in the depths of the forest.
Enough! I never knew you had such notions in your head. You are such a twisting individual. Why did you run away to the forest? Why did you stand against the tyrant Ravan? Come on, answer me. You could have shown him the way. Got not into Mareech's head. Listen, my sons.
Do you think I don't understand what you're trying to say? Class struggle. Struggle between the exploiter and the exploited.
Yes,
The kings fight with one another.
some win, some lose. But it's the ordinary folks who die.
Yeah, you will argue that the king rules the kingdom,
By living off the toil of their subjects,
that a king leads a life of luxury.
by exploiting the poor.
By this logic, Ram and Ravan both are bound to be oppressors and exploiters.
You have to make me see all these dangerous things. You want me to put behind bars in my old age?
So I can see you pleading for marriage. What you two have been doing?
Actually, he's too ashamed to say it. He commits suicide.
Right? Strange.
When you had so many things to do and you...
I have no means of turning back from the mistake I made.
There is.
Why do you think only of yourself? The world didn't do you a mistake. There are still plenty of people left to learn from your mistakes.
Now that you are here, why don't you help me solve one more problem?
Another problem. And what is that?
That Ishwar. You see, he's supposed to die in the play as well. The others, they bungled a bit here and there. But at the end, they died. But this wretch, he just refuses to die.
Refuses to die. Interesting. Tell me, my son, why exactly do you not want to die?
If I have to die, I'll die fighting, together with all of them. Very complicated.
You see, when a person is not afraid to die, you can't have him die at your own whim and fancy.
Do you know the reason why? Because now he's a group, a great human character.
And unless and until this entire group is wiped out, his death will serve no purpose. Even if you kill him,
He won't be dead. Yes.
by virtue of the fact
That you're not afraid to die. I'm granting you your life. Never fall your head before Ravan. Hold your head high.
But how are we supposed to end the play?
It isn't a play that you would want to end in a hurry, my son.
will go through lots of ups and downs, wins and losses, lives and deaths.
Why don't you let it take its own course? Just let it.
So, So you all saw, in spite of my best efforts, the play just did not go according to plan. This Ishwar, he went off against all the rules, just did not heed my direction. My magic failed completely. But you know, I'm happy. Very happy. Because nobody wants to die like Mareech. Nobody wants to commit suicide like Gregory. Let us all stand up against tyranny and oppression in all its forms, like Ishwar did. Lights off!